Hi, everyone. I am excited to have an amazing conversation with a good friend of mine and a brilliant author and coach, Amy Collette. She is the author of, I don't have my book in front of me. Amy, I'll have
Oh,
to.
I'll do the work.
Okay,
Gratitude
the
connection.
Gratitude Connection. I just want to read her bio because I'm excited about having her here in this conversation. I want to give you a little background on Amy. Amy Collette is the author of The Gratitude Connection. Embrace the power of thanks. She is so passionate about gratitude because it transformed her from an anxious, grumpy, stress junkie into a cheerleader for positivity, connection, and collaboration. Amy says her focus on the negative changed in a few days to being able to see an expansive field of possibility. Wow. That transformation led to a happier, more balanced life, as well as greater success in business. As the author, as the founder of Unleash Your Inner Author book coaching, Amy sees the impact of practicing positivity and how it spreads exponentially through human connection. This is so beautiful, Amy. I am just so honored that you want to have this conversation with me. I know my passion is helping elevate the presence of business presence, and I that's the synergy that you and I both have is we're about elevating how people feel to get them to be more positive so that they're more successful.
Right.
So, yeah, let's dive in.
Yes. Rhoda, I'm so pleased to be with you because I know you value gratitude as much as I do.
Yes.
Your gratitude walks and just your general presence. You know, you exude that a real warmth and openness, and that's very attractive. It helps attract people to you to build those human connections, which is the essence of business.
Wow. Thank you for saying that. I'm just so honored. I I love our connection because I know that during this time in history, so many people are going through a lot. And this conversation is my heart and yours to help people come to a more positive place. And we're not psychologists or anything, but I believe our
Right.
conversation will be a help. So yes, thank you for saying that and for being here. Why do you care so much about gratitude, Amy?
Well, I felt compelled to write a book about gratitude because it has is such a powerful force in my life. So I discovered gratitude when I really, really needed it. I needed something. So I'm happy to share the story of how that started if you're interested, Rhoda.
Love to hear it.
Okay, so I was in a place where I had been running another business, consulting, and I was just going great guns. I had been very successful for a few years, had a couple of big clients, had a few other smaller clients, and I was just happy as a clam. I wasn't out networking or marketing or any of that stuff because I was just working and having fun, right? And I suddenly lost both of my large clients within 2 weeks of each other. And I can't tell you how unprepared I was for that. You know, it was really through no fault of my own, but one company, the one partner bought out the other, and they changed the business model, so they didn't need their consultants anymore.
Wow.
And then the other one completely lost their venture funding, just got cut off, so everybody was out of work. So just basically rug ripped out from underneath my business suddenly. And I just fell into a hole. You know, that was the first time I really experienced long-term fight or flight,
Mm,
where minute to minute, hour to hour, for weeks and months, I felt like I was living in that fight or flight mode where my heart was pounding, just constantly anxious. And that is not an attractive energy. You know, I'm calling up everybody I know, everybody I worked with before, trying to drum up some new business. Well, you can guess that that wasn't very successful.
Mm.
Um, and I realized, I finally calmed myself down enough one day to get to go into meditation. And I just asked, what am I doing? I knew it was me. You know, I was the common denominator in all these relationships, right? So I said, what's going on?
Mhm.
And this message floated in that, Amy, you're being a bad date.
Wow.
And I knew exactly what that meant. It meant I was being too needy. You know, it's just like when you are developing a new relationship with somebody and they need you to like them so badly and they just talk about themselves all the time and they're not asking about you. I
Mhm.
realized there was some of that energy going on with me. It's the energy of desperation. People go running from that, right?
Wow.
So that it made me laugh a little bit, and you know, made me have a little sense of humor.
Mhm.
And then I remembered this thing I had read in a book a long time ago about a practice in the Jewish tradition called Hakarat Hatov. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. But what that means is to give thanks a few times a day. Just give thanks. Make it a habit, make it a practice. Like, and it sort of becomes like a living prayer, you know, just like anything that becomes, you become aware of. Like
Yeah.
when you start looking at a new car, then you see that car everywhere. It's
Yes.
the same, it's really the same kind of idea.
Mm.
So I thought, well, that sounds good in theory. I
Sure.
guess I'll try it, you know? I thought, but what do I have to be grateful for? Because everything sucks right now.
Mm.
That's where my head was.
Sure, sure, sure.
But I decided I'd do it in the evening when I went to bed and in the morning when I woke up.
Okay.
And this is not a gratitude journal. This is feeling it. This is focusing on the feeling of gratitude.
Mm.
So you're not writing it down and getting all in your head about it. You're
Right.
going here,
Okay.
you know? So, um, and you can do it with me if you want to. Just
I'd
put
love
your hands over your heart and just think of one thing you're grateful for. And notice what happens. I can see it, Rhoda, in your body. You're breathing deeper. Your shoulders are relaxed. And when you open your eyes, you feel your body, you feel better. It
Yeah.
raises your vibration.
Yeah.
It makes you feel calmer. So just from a very physiological, practical standpoint,
Mhm.
it's good for you. You know,
Wow.
just to take a moment, a couple times a day,
Sure.
just think what that, you know, and as a practice, it begins to become part of you.
Wow.
And what happened to me was I realized I always, if I had a whiteboard, I'd draw it. But if you think of your life as a pie,
Okay.
right? And who doesn't love pie?
Right.
A big round pie, right?
Right.
I was focusing on this little slice over here.
Mm.
Just there, the one thing that was going wrong. That's all I could see was just this little sliver, right?
Yeah.
And gratitude helped me calm down enough to say, oh my gosh, I have awesome, amazing things to be grateful for in my life.
Right. Right.
And I
Right.
was missing out on the whole pie because I was just focused on the one little sliver that was missing. It's like that piece was gone, right? That's
Wow.
all I could focus on, but I was missing out on the whole pie. So that just started a huge chain of events for me. Literally within 5 days, my phone started ringing again from people I hadn't even contacted yet. Like
Wow.
my energy had changed so much
Uh-huh.
that it made me calmer, but it also put out that energy in the world that said, hey, Amy's magnetic again. She's attractive. You know,
Wow.
it's safe to do business with her. You know, it was really an interesting lesson for me that it was that profound within 5 days.
Wow.
So I was also training to be a life coach at that time. So I was working with some clients
Mhm.
and I started using, encouraging them to do a gratitude practice. And then we started experimenting with other different positive practices. And that is all what turned into the gratitude connection. It's all those positive practices. Just take a couple of minutes a day,
Mm-hmm.
but over time it's cumulative and it adds up and it keeps raising your vibration and attracting those things that you want into your life.
Wow. I'm blown away.
So that's why I'm so passionate about it, because it has changed my life and I've seen it change numerous other people's lives for the better.
Absolutely. Thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that, Amy. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have heard that, and I hope that other people that are listening in will really unpack all that you've just given
Mhm.
us in your story.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I hope so too, because that's why I get all on fire about it, is because I know it can make a huge difference and I want other people to experience that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to ask you, where did the title, The Gratitude Connection, come from?
Hmm. So as a book coach now, I realize that some people come to the process with a title,
Hmm.
other people don't.
Okay.
And it can be a very painful process to come up with a title. And I don't know how many brainstorming sessions I did trying to come up with the title for this book.
Okay.
Uh, and finally, I just brainstormed all these words, and the two words, gratitude and connection, really popped out at me, because that's what gratitude did for me.
Mm,
It made these connections in all different ways. So, like the story I just told, it
sure.
connected me back to my life, back to a perspective that, man, life is really awesome. I got a little problem over here,
Yeah.
but my life is awesome and incredible. And I'm going to focus on that.
Mm,
So it connected me back to what was great about life. It connected me back to myself, to my sleep, to my relationships. Because you can imagine
sure.
someone who's in that fight or flight place all the time
Hmm.
is really not too fun to be around.
Right.
I tended to be grumpy, negative, short with people. I wasn't interested in going deep and really having those deeper relationships that I crave in my life.
Sure.
That was missing too. So it brought those connections back to me. And something even bigger and more encompassing, which is really a spiritual connection. So it
Yes.
made me, like I said, those kind of messages that would float in for me came from spirit, came from somewhere, right?
Right.
I don't need to know where, but I feel like it was God, spirit, universe, whatever you want to talk about, call it, that was helping me and reestablished that connection
Wow.
that's always there for me. So I think of gratitude and the connectedness
Hmm.
that I get in all different ways is that foundation. It builds a foundation of strength and happiness, kind of that joy that's just always underlying everything
Sure.
there all the time. So you're constantly connected to that. So gratitude connection had to be the title.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
And then when I tell people the title, they usually get it. They kind of instantly just understand the energy of the gratitude connection, what that means. It might mean something to them, um, or be something that they crave. So it's been an effective title and something that really explains what the book is in a very simple way.
That is beautiful, Amy. I know we were all needing connection, and I love how you
Yeah.
talked about deeper, meaningful connections. I know in this time of isolation for some of us, that's something that I hope will really help people that live alone and work alone, to really step out of. Sometimes we get in our heads,
Mm,
and I feel like the message you just gave us helps us to get out of our heads and into our heart so that we can connect to what is more important, and the positive that we have so much of. Because it's easy, somewhat, I don't know where I heard this, that our brains are wired for negative, so it takes
mm,
effort to be positive.
yeah.
And I love that you offer, um, I'm excited about talking about it. I want to ask you a question before I go there. How have you seen other people benefit from focusing on gratitude?
Yeah, so I'll share a little story that I think is really relevant to this time, as you mentioned. I think you call it this season of COVID and social unrest and questioning everything that's going on in our lives. Not just what we're doing for a job and where we're living, but every relationship, from intimate relationships to really big cultural and global
Sure.
relationships and connections that we
Right.
have. This time is really making us reconsider everything.
Yes, I agree.
So I think a gratitude practice is more relevant and helpful now than ever. So I think, as a book coach, I'm always thinking about ideal readers. Who's your ideal reader? Who's the people you think that you can reach with your message, right?
Absolutely.
So I had people more like me in mind, because I knew I had gone through it. I knew it had served me, and I knew it could serve a lot of people. So I didn't have in mind the guy that works on Home Depot.
Oh, wow.
Right? But I was over there one day. I live close to the Home Depot, and I was over there, and I saw a guy I know, is a friend of my husband's, and he said, "Hey, when you're done, come find me, and I'll walk you out to your car. I want to talk to you." And
Wow.
this is not a guy I know well, big, strong, burly guy, knows all about all the tools and stuff at Home Depot, right? What does he want to talk to me about?
Right.
But when I was done, I checked out and I kind of gave him a wave, and he came over, walked me out to my car, and he was kind of quiet. And I thought, boy, I thought he wanted to talk.
Yeah.
And I could see he was struggling a little bit. So I just, asked him, I said, "Oh, tell me what's going on with you." He says, "Amy, I got to tell you, I started reading your book. The last few months, I have really been struggling. I've been dealing with depression. I've had no motivation. I just didn't know what to do, where to turn. And my wife had your book on her nightstand. So I grabbed it one night and I started reading it." And he says, "I've read it through a couple of times now. And first time I just read it through. Second time I went through it and I did all the practices. Because at the end of every chapter, there's some exercises or practices that you're invited to do." So he says, "I've actually been doing them." He says, "I've noticed I feel so much better. I just had, when I saw you, I had to tell you, it's made such a big difference
Wow.
in my life." So he says, "It's just, super easy little things to do, but I'm actually doing them and it's making a difference." So that was someone I just never would have ever thought would read my book or get something profound from it. Really did. And so I think it shows that any of us can benefit from making a small effort for ourselves to reconnect, just to make these small little changes in our lives that
Right.
over time build up into really a new outlook on life, a new perspective.
Mm, that's awesome. I know you, I have your book and it's on my nightstand. I need to, I'm like reading 3 or 4 books at the same time. So I need to
Right.
focus more on your book because it does lift the day off of me. It does get me out of stress thinking and into a more peaceful place. And I'm grateful for those exercises that you have in the book. I know in the book you talk about doing a gratitude circle, sort of
Mhm.
like a book club of a
Yeah.
gratitude circle. And I really want to invite people to think about
Yeah.
picking up your book to do that so that we all hold space for each other and keep each other lifted up in those gratitude practices so that together we're all in this together. And I think
Right.
that's wonderful that you have that in there and that you've mentioned having a gratitude circle. So thank you for that, Amy. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a great story from a big burly guy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought either that that was your audience, but that just goes to show how
Well,
everybody needs this message, and it's
right.
relevant no matter who you are and what stage of life you're in, that we all need more gratitude and
Right.
benefits of it. I want to ask you, is practicing gratitude all we need to be happy?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that it probably depends on the person. For me, it was a way for me to find happiness. It
Mm,
was a path to that. And I think there are many paths.
yes,
But I think of life in general as energy, right?
yes.
And different people that you're around have different energy. Some people are just super energetic and excited and they talk with their hands all the time and they're just on fire all the time. And then other people are much more calm or quiet or introverted,
Mhm,
and there's no right or wrong about that energy.
mhm,
But there is a vibration.
mhm,
And my mission really is to help raise the positive vibration of the planet. And when we each bring up our own vibration,
mhm.
it helps raise everyone, right? It's sort of lift as we climb kind of thing. And so it really is how I see the world and the universe. And so I feel like whatever raises your vibration
Mhm,
is great. Maybe it's being around children
mhm,
or dogs or being in the outdoors or whatever.
mhm.
But for me, it was that focus on gratitude. Then I could focus on those things that do bring me joy.
That's beautiful.
Uh, like your gratitude walks.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You
I
know,
I start my day there after I
right.
have my breakfast and my prayer time. And I love that you shifted me to that, because a lot of times I'll get in my head about what I need to do, and I just get present to the vibration of nature.
Yes.
And I notice how still and
Mm.
how calm it is. Some days it's a little different because of the breeze or whatever,
Mm.
but I just check my energy and I'm going, let me shift into this frenetic, I've got to get stuff done,
Yes.
to a more calmer energy, because I realize that got to get stuff done energy is really not natural. Nothing in nature, whether it's the animal kingdom or the plant
Mhm.
kingdom, operates in that energy. And so it's to our health benefit, and to have a better day. I'm able to better connect with other people throughout the day and spread my energy out so that I don't get so burnt out at the beginning of the day with that, got to get stuff done,
Mhm.
that I don't have any left in the afternoon to do what I need to do. So I love that you're mentioning that, because it does
Yeah.
have huge benefit on the way we start our day and the way that we go through our day. There's a different cadence, if that makes sense.
Yes. One thing I want to touch on with just calling it a gratitude walk,
Yes.
Rhoda, you're setting that intention.
Thank
You're
you.
setting the intention to be in a state of gratitude. So when you are on your walk, you're looking for things to be grateful for,
Yeah.
right? You're enjoying it all,
Yeah.
right? So when you set that intention, it's very, very powerful.
Mm,
Because like you said, we do have a tendency toward the negative, and that is a survival mode.
okay.
That is because we want to know if there's a predator around the corner, if someone's coming towards us with a weapon or whatever. That's from our evolution,
Okay.
that we are wired that way. Just like when you see horses,
Uh-huh.
I love horses, and you see their ears go back and forth like this. Their radar's always on. They're always looking for danger.
Oh,
You know,
I didn't.
that's what that is. And we're kind of wired the same way. So we have to make that effort.
Mm,
And when you set the intention to, I'm going to be in a state of gratitude and enjoy the breeze and the sun and the whatever, even if it's you're getting rained on, to
right,
to
right.
set that attitude of gratitude, then it things that you might not notice otherwise, you notice and are grateful for. And it becomes a habit. Then, and it just grows, that it keeps you at that vibration for longer periods of time during the day, and keeps you out of that hectic, I've got to do everything stress mode,
Right.
which
Oh,
you can fall into so easily now
right.
with, the news and people's freaking out about everything, whether it's health or politics or whatever's going on,
Right.
that we can focus on. We don't have to. We can set our intention to have our energy be focused elsewhere.
That is beautiful, because there is a gift of peace and happiness and joy when we focus on gratitude. I think about you sometimes when I notice it's, if I'm in a stressful point in my day, Amy, I remember the little bit that I have read from your book and in our conversations. And I remember, when I remember to shift to gratitude, I can handle whatever challenges are coming at me in a responsive way and not a reactive way. In other words, I don't give away my peace when I'm in that place of gratitude. And so I want to thank you for really unpacking all the benefits of it. It's amazing. I'm excited to learn more. I'm going through your book like a turtle because it's so content rich. I admire the guy that went through it. I mean, I thought, wow, I've been taking a lot of notes in my gratitude journal from your book. So yeah, this is incredible to be able to have a conversation with you, to get so much more um, light on what you're sharing in the book and how important this is for all of us, for our mental health, for our relationships, and for our ability to succeed in our businesses that we're doing. Wow. I want to ask you, how can people get started with focusing on positivity? That's one of my favorite
Oh,
topics.
yes,
Yeah.
mine too. Mine too. So this COVID time has actually spurred me to create something that I had been wanting to create for a long time. And that is a 30-day course. So it's a little free course that people can use to get started. So no excuse. You don't even have to go buy the book. You can get started with some of the practices that are in the Gratitude Connection with my little course called Daily Positivity. And it's 30 days to a more positive mindset. And it's totally free. You get a little email every day. It's just a short little read and something that you can integrate into your day for 30 days. So you can get it at unleashyourinnerauthor.com/positive. So easy to remember, unleashyourinnerauthor.com/positive. And you can just enter your email, and you get a little email message from me every day with something you can try. So it's really easy to do, and it's really fun to do as a gratitude circle or a positivity circle, with some friends. So you can do it. You can keep each other accountable to doing it every day, and just see what happens.
Wow. I love it. I know that I got to I received your emails at the very beginning of the quarantine, and it was wonderful, Amy, to keep me out of negativity and into positivity. It kept me productive. It kept me moving forward. So I hope that everybody that's listening to this conversation will take advantage of this free, beautiful resource. It's unbelievable how it'll make a difference, and share it with your network, because we're all in this together, and we're excited about helping people elevate their lives and who they are here to be. So thank you, Amy. I am grateful for you
You're welcome, Rhoda. Thank you.
and this conversation and all that you bring to the world. You are such a gift. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity, Rhoda. I know we are so aligned with
Yes.
the same ideas of really giving positivity, being those lights and helping other people shine their light and just feel better, serve more people, and together we're raising the positive vibration.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Well, I hope you have an amazing day. Thank you for making mine.
Thank
And
you,
I look
Rhoda. It's been
forward
wonderful.
to learning more about the gratitude connection, reading it, and getting more people to come alongside me with it as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being, I call you a gratitude ambassador, Rhoda, for
Yes,
spreading the word. Appreciate
absolutely. Absolutely. I will wear it well.
it. You do.
Oh, thank you, Amy. I hope you have an amazing day.
All right. Thank you, Rhoda.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.